tell the babies, tell the kids, tell the youth. Pan-Africanism is all about unity and oneness. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can I hear you say black liberation? Black liberation. Black liberation. Now more than ever, it is so important that we stand united. As a people that stand united, we are stronger. We cannot let them divide us. So when I walk around here, it's just a beautiful space. The diaspora, made up of various people from different walks of life. And we must learn how to put our differences aside and stand together as one. We must learn to put our differences aside and stand together as one. Because we are powerful, we are beautiful, and together we are stronger.
Good evening, family. How y'all doing? Brothers and sisters, this is a serious time for us as a people, globally. And what is happening in West Africa, the Sahel, where Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger is critical and key. Africa has risen. We are uniting. And we will unite with brothers and sisters from here to there and all across the diaspora. No longer will we be pawns in the world, we'll be players. We have the resources, we have the intelligence, we have the people, the youngest population on the planet. So brothers and sisters, this next 5 years into the next few decades is Africa on the rise. And you are a part of it. I say.
Let's give it up. If you are not in an organization, we need you to get in an organization, please. Organize.
As a part of this this circle. Thank you.
This is Brother Putu here, and to the question like Pan-Africanism. What is Pan-Africanism? I think that's a very important question that needs to be answered, especially in this generation. When we hear Pan-Africanism, a lot of time is associated with things of the past, we hear about the greats, the Marcus Garveys, the Kwame Nkrumahs. We hear about the history, but what's going on right now? And we have billions of youth right now who need to really truly understand what Pan-Africanism is. So one thing that I do is try to communicate it in a way that maybe some of the younger generations of today can understand it. And so for me, Pan-Africanism is like, for the most part, it's common knowledge that there was a system that was built, established for the last 400 or 500 years that involved oppression, slavery, to imperialism, and that it put the race, a group of people who of melanated black skin, were like at the bottom. And it was in America, it was in the Caribbean, it was in Africa, it was all over the world, Europe, Asia. We see that a whole system was built that basically painted an image of people who had the melanated skin, African people, less than. And so Pan-Africanism is like an ideology, it's a mindset that emerged as a way to counter that system, okay? So basically, once it was observed that around the world that melanated people everywhere were experiencing similar circumstances, whether it be slavery, colonialism, imperialism, this, that, and the third. Pan-Africanism came about as a way to address that system, not just from a local standpoint and in your immediate community, but to address it holistically and globally, you know, in recognizing that what I'm going through over here in America, or what I'm going through here in Africa or the Caribbean, wherever I may have found myself or ourselves, it was a way to bring everybody together and to, from that standpoint, you know, break down the system that was built, whether we want to call it white supremacy, imperialism, whatever it may be. So if the youth of this generation can understand that, you know, as it relates to Pan-Africanism, I think from a strategic standpoint, it can be communicated to, you know, especially our youth and who don't understand Pan-Africanism, that there's power in connecting with your people, brothers and sisters around the world. What you're going through in Atlanta, DC, Jamaica, or Lagos, Liberia, Australia, as a melanated person, there's power in coming together to break down and to change the situation. So that, in essence, is what I see Pan-Africa. Pan means global, you know, Africa. So it's the continent, but also encompasses the diaspora. So that's what I see as Pan-Africanism, and you know, for it to be communicated in this time.
Greetings, everyone.
Greetings.
Giving thanks to the organizers of the forum and appreciating the ancestors that allowed us to be here. And these hallowed grounds do we stand on. We started a trail of tears, and also in recognition with all folks now who are struggling against the forces of oppression and inequity. Pan-Africanism, for me, is a way of being. It's true, it emerged as a humanist response to a particular insidious and evil system of enslavement, but enslavement as tied to the contemporary global economy. The dominant order in the world, as nice as it looks, its roots stink with the death and suffering of our people. You're right. I work with Friends of the Congo. One of the major humanitarian crises in the world today, as evidenced currently by the 7,000 people that have lost their lives because some folks want to maintain privilege and power. Africans have a right to demand that the world owes them money. It's blood money that's stolen from us. We're not begging for it. The fact is, the current global order at every stage of development, whether it be the modern industrial era, where you look at the Congo, the automotive industry, it was rape, pillage, ivory, rubber that built it. You look at their wars, World War II, it was the uranium from the Congo that was used in those bombs that was just dropped a few months ago. You look at places like anywhere in Europe, most of the power systems are fueled by the minerals that come out of the continent. We have a right to hold those criminals accountable for the crimes they continue to commit. It's not begging, it's justice. Because when a criminal commits a crime against you, if they're not made to pay, the reason for the payment is to tell them there's a penalty. It's a penalty for a crime. So one of the first things I think about the Reparations Council is to clearly delineate the scale of the crime that never happened to no other people anywhere, with the possible exception of the indigenous peoples of these lands. No other people have been up against a global system of oppression where there was no place to run, there was no cavalry coming, until Haiti was able to liberate itself. As John Henry Clark put it, a group of well-dressed, sophisticated criminals that now present as the banks, the shipping industry, the insurance companies, they're tied to their ancestors. They continue to benefit from the enslavement. Pan-Africanism is an attempt to heal ourselves from within.
Yes.
The beautiful spirit of Asar, and Asar says, or as Ngugi says, we're remembering. remembering in a cognitive way, but remembering in a physical way, like a doctor, a nurse, a grandmother, putting the pieces back together. Beautiful love story. But it's also saying that we want to create the vision of a world that, as the brother who really love dealing with this Pan-African concept, it's a world that's based not on violence, the violence of the nation state, that's implicit and inherent in their message, but on caring. That is why when we're up against them, we struggle so much. Because if you look at it, here is a system that believes that at their most sacred events, they must have the gun and the Bible. Look at the royal wedding. The groom is dressed in his military uniform. The military of England is used to parade. We love the wedding, right? But what's the name? Meghan and those folks. So think about it. There's an implicit message in their system saying, we will destroy you if you try to take away our privilege. The question for us is this. They're willing to go to the mat for what they believe in. Are we willing to not only match them? And the problem is this. I'm not sure we could match them with that kind of evil. But I think when we lean on our humanity, when you look at the way in which we view the world, we understand that what they did during the enslavement is not only the violence, but they cut us off from a vision, a way of being in the world that has nothing to do with their art, has nothing to do with this masquerade of Western civilization. And so for me, Pan-Africanism is an affirmation of the very best, the excellent presence of African history that they know and are afraid of, and they struggle with from the days of the Greeks. But that if we go within and do these circles, we'll find out that the answer is not in their classrooms. No disrespect, it works for them. I'm gonna take it out. We could learn from it, but that work of discovering, rediscovering, remembering, as Ngugi Watianko points out, I think is the mission of Pan-Africanism, and it'll happen. It'll happen despite the contradictions.
That's it.